I've moved my tower outside. I got Dawn dish soap and a scrub brush and getting all the main dirtiness out of it. It's not gonna get pretty and white because it's had sun damage. I've had this thing for 10, 11 years now, so it does the best it can. I will rinse, and you see how it's kind of already stained, but I'm getting all the algae and all the green stuff that was growing, and so I will continue to rinse it until it's clean enough so I can utilize it again. So the base is now getting cleaned up, and once that gets done, I can put it back in the greenhouse. The base clean, even though it looks dirty, but that's just calcium buildup that won't come out. Base is down. I'm gonna get the top on. Now I'm gonna fill it up. I'm filling it up with water. I've already hooked the pump to the tower, so that way I don't have to do that. And once it's filled up, I'm gonna put the little trays that go inside all those, and then we'll put the lettuces on there. So my little baskets are going in here. Requires a little shoving and pushing, but they go in there. Okay, so the basket plugs are in, and now I'm going to fill them with my Bibb lettuce that's growing here. I'm not going to do the Swiss chard on the tower. I'm going to do the Swiss chard somewhere else. And the Igloo lettuce. And then I also had some of these lettuces here, which are romaine and some other stuff that I can't remember, but they're gonna go plug, and basically we just put it just like that in the little basket. And the way it works is as the water rotates through the basket, how it has the holes, it hits the little block, and the block will continue to get wet, and then the roots will continue to grow, and they'll grow down through that, and then the roots get watered, and the lettuce grows. Already protruded from under here. It will continue to grow. So this is a spring leaf mix. Sorry, that'll go up there. That was romaine. That's spring leaf. Then I have the Igloo down here, and then I have the Bibb lettuce, and I still have to fill the middle with something. I decided to put the more Igloo lettuce. I have no idea what Igloo lettuce is going to look like because I've never planted it before. So that's what it looks like when it's little. We'll find out what it looks like when it grows. But there it is. The tower garden is ready to grow more lettuce for the next round. Working on the tower and putting all the plugs. I had a little elf help me and collect some of the habanero peppers and wash them along with some tomatoes that were ready to be plucked. I'm going to be adding some nutrient solution to the tower garden. I use these two, which is the Flora Grow and the Flora Bloom, and they're both, when I look at the back, it just says 1 teaspoon per gallon. The tank behind there is 25 gallons, so I will need 25 teaspoons. Roughly that translates into 4 ounces. I will use my handy dandy shot glass and do 4 of those into another container, which I have done already. This is for this one. I will pour that in, and then I will do the same for the other. My assistant here is going to pour the first into there, all the way. Helping hands. Wait, they're there. All right. That's 1 shot glass. That's 1 ounce. Woo! 4 ounces. I mean 2 ounces. I don't even know how to count. I haven't been drinking. 3.
I swear we haven't used this.
And 4. Alright, now we're gonna pour it in. Alright, it looks like Smirnoff green apple. Yum.
Mix it
Turn
with
the pump on so it circulates all the solution in there, and it goes to my assistant through the pump and circulates in there. Tomorrow I will check the pH and the parts per million, which is how much solution. There's my pH. It's digital, so I insert that portion in the water and it gives me a reading. Ta-da! Turning it off. And same with this, I will turn it on and it will give me a reading. I could do it now. 3, so it's stopping at 4. Ideally for lettuces, 800 to 900. So it looks like I can. Oh, don't stick it all the way in. Okay, so 6.2. Okay, so now that we don't have the tower running water, you can hear me a little better, and I wanted to take the time to explain the 2 meters that I use, which is pH meter and a ppm meter. I use these to help me keep the water balanced, to figure out what I'm needing in the water for whether it's nutrient solution or whether it's the pH, and see how my tower is doing so my plants can be successful, especially the lettuce. The reason I don't intermix anything in the tower other than just different lettuces, I don't do anything else. Like some people grow multiple things in these towers. They can grow tomatoes and lettuce and whatever all at the same time. I don't, for the reason that a lot of the plants want and need specific nutrients and pH, as far as their numbers and how much nutrients and how much pH it need, you know, high or low pH. So with the lettuce, the pH between 6 and 7 is what the lettuce likes, most lettuce in general. So it's easy to now think of the number to stick my pH, keep it in a between 6 and 7. And like you saw in the video earlier, I put it in the water, this part goes in the water, it gives me my reading here, and it was like 6.2, which is perfect. I don't have to do anything with the pH. I do have pH up and pH down, which is solutions that go in the water. So if my pH is too high or too low, I can offset it by adding those in there and you know, making it higher or making it lower. Now the other meter, which is the parts per million, that's the nutrient solution. That's how much food the plant needs. And with lettuces, it's anywhere between 560 to 820, something like that. So I just kind of go 6 to 8 and try to keep it within that range. When I tested it, it was 410. I did add more solution in there to help increase that so it maximizes the plant food and it grows. So I don't check it every day, probably should, to see how it goes. Definitely a few times a week I do, and keep up with how much I need to add or not do anything at all. Again, it's a measurement to help me keep my lettuce successful and growing. And as you saw when we were pouring the shot glass, and you know, it's more fun for my daughter to, you know, pour in whatever into another cup container. I know that we weren't right on the mark of the exact ounce. I'm not worried about that. You know, if it spills over the shot glass or if it doesn't, that's okay. It doesn't have to be that precise. At least in my world, it doesn't have to be precise. I'm not, I'm a little pinch here, pinch there type person, so I don't get overly excited if I don't fill my shot glass to the exact line, or if it goes over the line. Either way, you know, the plants are going to still absorb the solution. They're going to take what they need. So even if there's excess in there, and because there is a range of numbers to work with, you know, not being exact, it's okay. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll keep more coming as I keep doing them.